Hi, good evening. Hi, Harish Khanna. Hi, Susan. Good to see you. Hope my audio is clear. If it is not, just comment. If you are able to hear me, comment yes in the comment box so that I confirm that you can hear my voice. Okay, audio is clear. Fine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. Yeah. So, Harish Khanna, I'm hardly getting calls for manual testing domain. What should I do to get interview calls for manual testing? Okay. So manual testing is what I see from the market is slowly depreciating because more and more automation testing is what they are hitting up. So tools like Selenium and related tools is what they are looking at. So somebody is into manual testing has to move to automation testing. So the upskilling might be required for automation testing so that those kind of opportunities you get because based on what market is demanding we'll have to supply. So in that sense, if you have to upskill on automation testing, those courses you'll have to do so that you get those opportunities. So your have you done any automation testing? If you can comment on that, then I can give a clear picture about that. Hi Sri Lakshmi. Yeah, so if you have any questions you can post here. So we'll start at the session for next 1 hour. Okay, automation testing, if you have not done, this is the time where we have to upskill going to automation. Like you might have to upskill on the Selenium part. Those are the things which is highly recommended. So you can review some job posting in IAM jobs and LinkedIn to understand what exactly they are looking for. Accordingly, we'll have to understand where we are and where we have to scale up. So at least next 3 months to 6 months there will be a lot of changes in the entire hiring. So the domain which we are, the industry which we are is also scaling up very fast. So they are moving to a lot of automation related stuff in every single vertical. So obviously when we scale up only we'll get those kind of opportunities. Plus a different vertical like pivotable vertical, if you can try, that is also well and good comparing to purely into testing. So that way I'll have to see your resume to see whether those pivotable options are highly applicable to you. So maybe you can send your resume to my mail id connect@gsmart.com so that I can review and tell you whether any pivotable jobs you can do so that you can improve your career. So I'm just typing my mail ID. You can share your resume there. So typically, going with the topic of today's discussion, like why we are not getting interview calls, there are reasons behind that. So I'll just try to explain from a HR's perspective, talent acquisition point of view, all that because um, there are two markets which regularly lot of people do the hiring process. So one will be like advertising the job posting from the uh, Naukri and LinkedIn, all those things they will use as a job posting to pull out candidates. Any employer, right from entrepreneur, startup, enterprises, there is a choice that they'll post the advertisement in Naukri, LinkedIn, and other places. But the element or challenge here is like us, there are 500 people who will see that and apply to that position. So obviously, we'll get lost in the entire crowd. So that way the opportunities what we are supposed to get we are not getting. That's one. The second area is the non-advertised market where the headhunting happens from staffing agencies, manpower agencies, and even corporates. They do headhunting when they are doing a serious interview, because the moment where they are reaching searching candidates and hunting for profiles, it is sure they will be interviewing these candidates, otherwise they will not even hunt for profiles. So that's the one blue ocean area which we have to figure out and be discoverable with Naukri and LinkedIn with the right set of keywords. Otherwise, the opportunities what we see, it is only like 20 to 30% of the total job market. The rest of 70% happens through headhunting. So we'll have to reposition and upgrade ourselves for the new positions and the blue ocean market which is getting headhunted. Those market we have to prepare, not like this ATS resume and all these things. That is all kids game, I would say. So repositioning and rebranding for the newer opportunities is something very must and mandatory at this juncture if we have to get into a good opportunities for that matter. So that is very mandatory in the entire process. Okay, Sri Lakshmi, do I have to upskill my skills related to stakeholder management, people management? If so, can you share some insight on the same? Yeah, thanks for the question. So, stakeholder management, people management is something which we cannot articulate in a resume. So, maybe we can mention I've handled stakeholder management, but the impact what if I have created, impact what if we have done due to that process, due to that skills, most of the times we are not able to articulate. So, in the achievement section or leadership impact section, we have to mention that because of dealing with this, I have arrived at this particular result to the organization. So it is the result which we are contributing to the organization is most important rather than the stakeholder management skill, because that is something not tangible to measure, or any there is no metrics that we can measure the people management of anybody for that matter. So due to people management, due to those skill what we have achieved is something which we have to give a social proof both on resume and LinkedIn, so that the guy who's sitting and reviewing your resume can understand that because of people management you have achieved it. So it will all applicable for most of the HR and sales, customer service, or even procurement roles. For these kind of roles, the human intervention is highly required, where only because of our face value we can get some things done. Otherwise, things will be more challenging and more delayed in the entire process. So obviously, those skills has to get projected in the resume that because of meeting 15 people I have arrived at this kind of things, where it has helped the organization. So things in terms of think in terms of three things: time, cost, and effort. What you have saved to the organization is what people would like to hire. So if that is not reflecting, then it is the regular resume where everybody mentioned the same thing, like hardworking, I'm a great communicator, stakeholder management. Everything remains at a very resume level and not emotional level. So they may not see that as a regular thing. It is one of the chat GPT content which you have created. That's what they will presume. Rather, you will have to produce the results what you have achieved from a particular core competency or a key skill, which will have to be very meaningful to the recruiter. Okay, so that information is required. How to develop that skill is basically networking with uh, people, like-minded people, especially offline networking is must at this moment. So there are a lot of network meeting happens in meetup.com and other areas. So those kind of meetups, official offline meetings we have to attend, so that we meet a lot of people and have a good relationship. Like-minded people we'll have to keep developing. So look for a lot of physical meetups where we can develop those kind of people management area. This is something which we have to do a iteration and relationship management we have to keep doing. But if not, whatever is our existing relationship, existing contacts in our phone, we should have the practice of spending 2 hours 3 hours on a Saturday or Sunday and call them on a regular basis without any agenda. Like there should not be any agenda. Okay, I want this, so you do this kind of thing. Rather, a no agenda networking, like hey, hi, hello, how is your office going, how is this opportunity. One or the other ways you start exchanging, so that might bring some opportunities. So he might, that particular person may have some opportunities in his office where we've not even been realizing. So the moment when we are calling and speaking, there are something which can pop up where it can be mutually benefitable. So if you have 100 contacts in your phone book, try to call them on a Saturday, Sunday, like pick up some 5 6 people who's really really potential, whom you want to network. So focus that Saturday time or Sunday time. We should all have the habit of calling those people whom we are not in touch, so that we network those people, so that it will be benefitable in the near future. So if we have a huge gap in terms of talking to them, then it becomes a problem that nothing will move because of those kind of things. So uh, create an opportunity where you can speak to them, have a friendly gesture with them, or appreciate their article on LinkedIn. All that we'll have to do as part of networking, so that we keep in touch, and that conversation will give you a lot of opportunities. Okay, so Susan Benny, how about EA roles? A lot of people are viewing my profile but not getting any calls. Okay, so executive assistant comes with a lot of synonymical designations like secretary, personal assistant, EA. You know, a lot of synonymical designations people will be using during the job description. So just have to review what are the job postings which is posted on Naukri, LinkedIn, and other places. See whichever is very very synonymical and try to include in your LinkedIn and resume, so that it helps in discovery about your profile, because each organization will come with different designation for the same role. So maybe those items we may not be in a position to think, but by reviewing IAM jobs, Naukri, LinkedIn, and what kind of designation they have mentioned, those kind of designation we'll have to mention in our keywords on Naukri and LinkedIn, so that we get detectable by the potential seekers. Secondly, we'll have to be pivotable in the entire arena, because executive assistant role is something very traditional role, right from like 30 40 years. It's a traditional role. So obviously there are a lot of new designation or a new labeling of the same role, where we may not be even labeling ourselves in that particular format. Like one example will be chief of staff. Is a designation which is being used for searching for executive secretary. So those understanding should be there, so that we use those keywords where we get detectable by the potential recruiters from the organizations. um, Secondly, August second week is usually like a dip week, where a lot of people will take holidays continuously, right from 14th to 17th 18th. That's a big holiday week, so obviously there will be a dip in the market. That's what we are seeing every year. So this weekend you may not be expecting certain calls because of the vacation kind of a mood and all that. So maybe after next week we'll have to think how best things are moving, and accordingly we'll have to work. Okay, can I also try as facility manager? Facility manager is something requires more knowledge towards mechanical, electrical, plumbing, those coordination with the vendors, all that. That's a core expectation from any organization who are looking for facility manager. So that may be a little a high-end um coordination role where we need to have a lot of technical knowledge to get things from the vendors. So the vendor connectivity, vendor knowledge, those things are highly recommended for a facility manager role. But operation manager role, floor manager roles, maybe in a KPO, BPO, those kind of roles will be highly recommendable while somebody is coming from a executive secretary role. And maybe the customer success manager, those kind of roles will also be suitable as a pivotable role. So comparing to facility manager role, I would say something a higher level designation with regard to customer support or customer success manager can be one of the designation where you can target. But we'll have to test it for about 1 month on how the discovery is happening for the existing keywords. If it is not working, we'll have to move to the other designation. That's how we'll have to start these things. Okay, Hari Krishnan, Harish Khanna. Okay, what is the maximum salary package I can reach as an automation tester? Okay. I may not know what is your location and the range of experience, so I cannot be very blunt about it. You'll have to give me the specifics on what is your total experience location, because the salary actually depends on the industry, location, and the level of experience. So you'll have to give me that element. And you can just try it out in ambition box, those kind of websites as well, so that you'll get a range of CTC. But of course, from each industry you will get a different perspective, because e-commerce will be paying something different, IT company will be paying something different, and the regular companies will be paying something different. So it depends on how much skilled, how much hands-on experience we have. So based on the uh, performance in the interview with the hands-on deliverables, based on that it might be working out on a specific cities. Okay, so Bangalore 6.3 years. Okay, so maybe I'll just have to look into some search on how these things are working. Give me some time. So meanwhile others can ask questions. So what I can see is 6 to 7 lakh is the median range as per Glassdoor, Ambition Box, all that. But you can just take your own idea where you belong to, and it depends on the current CTC as well. So if somebody is mentioning 6 lakhs or 7 lakhs per annum, they are not ready to give upfront. It is completely based on what is the current CTC as of now, and from there they will give you a hike about 20 to 30%. So it's totally depends on what is the current data in the market. So from ChatGPT data, I could find the salary of automation tester is less than the salary of DevOps. Yeah. So basically, DevOps. I think this question has been asked in the last session also. I'm not sure whether you or some other person. So obviously, DevOps have a higher end because the more and more need is for the DevOps kind of a roles where the infrastructure and other things is developing in each company. So the need for those individuals and professionals will be high. So obviously the demand will be high. So instead of going behind software testing, which is a traditional role, pivoting into DevOps will be a better idea to get into a new role, a new career. That way, it is always best. I think this answer I have given last week, I mean, last session also, where we were comparing both testing roles and DevOps role. So DevOps obviously going high because for that need, the need is high for the DevOps kind of a requirement. So obviously you can look into those areas. Okay, Sri Lakshmi, can the recommendation received on LinkedIn have some weightage for the profile? Definitely, because without your presence, they were able to gauge the testimonial, and it should be somebody who knows about your work, especially your senior, which will have a lot of weightage comparing to colleagues and junior. So, when you're asking for recommendation for your LinkedIn profile to build up, choose seniors who know about your work so that the testimonial looks even more at a higher level. Let's say you're a manager and your director is giving a testimonial, that will have a huge weightage when you're considering when somebody is considering your profile. So that way we'll have to be very very choosy about whom we are asking testimonial, instead of going to colleagues and friends asking for just to build our profile. So that strategical decision we'll have to take so that it has a huge weightage over a period of time. Okay, Susan, what salary expectation I should keep places in Mumbai? So Mumbai being a metro, they obviously come with a good structured CTC depending on the domain which you belong to, experience which you belong to, obviously. So we must have some reason to arrive at that number. Otherwise, it will look little artificial, and we will appear as if we are running behind money. So before getting into salary discussion, it is obvious that we'll have to prove our worth on how we are different from the other set of people. So when they are interviewing us, they are interviewing other 10 people. So what is that something which we can provide extra to the organization wherein they are ready to pay that particular CTC is what we'll have to do a reverse thinking so that we can justify that CTC. Otherwise, having 30 years experience, having the same quality, there will be 10 people who will be attending same interview in the same organization. So now that the hiring manager has to decide whom to select, we should have a lot of weightage, and what we can bring it to the table, it should be at a higher level comparing to the rest of the candidates. If that is something justifiable, people can be ready and flexible to give the offer. But obviously it is a profile where it is a cost center. So every profile comes with a revenue center or a cost center kind of a role. So we'll have to look at what kind of a cost benefit we are giving to the organization so that we can justify. So any sales role who can justify their CTC is because okay, we are bringing clients, we are bringing revenue to the organization. So I can ask 50% hike or 100% client hike because we are bringing new clients, new enterprise clients, all that. But profiles who are at an operational level, who are at a not revenue center kind of a profile, it is highly based upon what unique additions we can bring it to the table comparing to the rest of the candidates. So that element we have to prove during the discussion with the hiring manager, so that when we are discussing with the potential employer, it will be at a very very higher level of negotiation rather than talking only about the salary structure. Okay, how do we get in touch with the non-advertised roles recruiters? How can I check for the startups in my say Bangalore West? Okay, so you're in Bangalore West and looking for non-advertised roles on recruiters. Okay, so recruiters are at a very very broader vertical, sub-vertical, and all that. There is something called IT recruiter, non-IT recruiter, pharma recruiter, sales recruiter. There are multiple verticals. So the demand will be always for a sales oriented recruiter where they can hire people who belong to sales, or people who are into volume hiring, let's say KPO, BPO, fresher hiring. These are all volume hiring spaces, multiple verticals. So we'll have to justify ourselves on where we belong to and create a niche for ourselves in our resume and LinkedIn, so that when they are hunting for a specific niche, your profile gets popped up. Otherwise, recruiter means everybody becomes a recruiter, whoever is have access to Naukri. So there is no meaning towards it. So like IT vertical or something, we'll also, as a recruiter, we have to create our own sub vertical and sub niche, so that if that we are projecting on our LinkedIn and resume, there are higher chances that we are getting detected from the profiles from Naukri and LinkedIn, because the search happens with an addition of non-IT or IT or AI, those kind of additions. They are doing a Boolean search. Of course, being a recruiter, you know about Boolean search and X-ray search and all that. But the specific vertical, we should be very a niche oriented segment we should have, so that we are highly um, unique comparing to the rest of regular recruiters. So that way we'll have to create our niche. Look into your talent acquisition experience, on which industry you belong to, what kind of niche you are comfortable working, and have good results producing placements for certain profiles, and interview hit ratio. All that you'll have to do a reverse thinking and create a niche for yourself in the talent acquisition or recruitment space, so that we are highly detectable by the potential employer who is looking for recruiters. Because at any cost, I don't see any decline towards recruiters, because even at a AI automation and other things, recruiters are needed to recruit people. So but we should not appear as a common crowd where everybody can do the same thing. That is why we'll have to build a separate certification on LinkedIn, or separate certification on X-ray search, Boolean search, or industry specific verticals. These things we have to portray on our resume and LinkedIn, so that that will be highly beneficial for us to do a career growth. Otherwise, mentioning recruiter and then going with a blank idea may not make a lot of sense, if you could agree to that point. Yeah, Sachin Dasmana. Okay, how can we upgrade ourselves in SAP consulting career? Okay, SAP consulting career, in my opinion, there are a lot of multiple functional vertical, like purchase, sales, and materials management. All that. So, whichever is evergreen industry, that you will have to upskill. Like sales is evergreen, procurement, materials management is evergreen. So, whichever is evergreen function, which every organization needs, that specific vertical you will have to choose, so that our career has a growth. Otherwise, declining vertical, declining sub function may not make a lot of sense. No, where they may not be any career growth. So the organization who are implementing SAP is somebody who's at a very enterprise level. So they may have a futuristic viewpoint on what is the area they'll be looking at. So do a bit of research in LinkedIn job search and IAM job search on how many jobs are appearing for certain vertical. Like let's say SAP MM, SAP SD, SAP sales, SAP HR. You just play around with those keywords and try to see how many openings are there. Maybe for August, maybe for September. 3 months you do a research on how many openings are, keep on repeating. Or even in Naukri, you can filter those search and then see how much openings are published. So based on that, you will have at least some tangible idea on which function is getting recruited more, or which is getting hired more. So with that idea, you talk to an institution where they will be providing that particular skills and experience, and that should apply with your core functional skill. What is your foundational skill? So with that, you have to combine that SAP functional skill so that it will be benefitable and easy to upskill. It should not be something where you have to start from scratch. It should be something which is aligned to your foundational skill. So that way you'll have to select and go for it. Okay, Rajesh Valia Parambil. Okay, I have 16 point years of experience. Okay, you can tell me what is your question so that I can answer, Rajesh. Sixteen-point years in which domain, which industry? If you tell me that, then it will be more easy to understand. Okay, any other questions? Okay, Deepan Davis. Okay, I am into tech and would like to join a startup where I can grow my skills, but I'm not sure how to find them in LinkedIn. Is there a way to find them? I don't think they advertise their roles much. Okay, you want to join a startup. So when you have a plan to join a startup, you have to network offline because there are a lot of network meeting which is happening every single day, especially Wednesday, Saturday, Sundays. If you do a business networking meeting in Bangalore or whichever location you belong to, there will be a lot of events which is happening day in day out. So you have to participate those meetings to try to understand what exactly they are doing, because startups mean sometimes entrepreneurs think that they are startup because it is really not a startup. So understand which industry belong to and whether they are growing. All that you'll have to calculate and then discuss with the founders who belong to those startups and try to get synchronized with those kind of opportunities. Uh, of course, you are right. Like this kind of advertisements may not come in the regular job posting kind of a model. It should be purely on the networking side. So in LinkedIn especially you can find groups, startup groups and all that. So um, click and join those groups and then start networking with those people and look at the group reference on what kind of postings they are making, because they may not have a budget to post a job in Naukri or LinkedIn. So obviously they will share those job posting in their LinkedIn groups itself. So start looking at startup Bangalore, startup Chennai, those kind of naming search in LinkedIn, and then join those groups, and then ask for job opportunities specifically at your domain. And most workable pattern is something you have to meet offline. So see the possibility of meetup in your location and join those meetups and then try to network with them. That way you will get a lot of reference. So I'm sharing my YouTube link. You can subscribe. We are regularly doing LinkedIn Live, and there'll be a lot of shorts and other things. So if you want to participate on LinkedIn Live, you can ping me on LinkedIn so that you can be a panel on LinkedIn Live, so that we can discuss a lot of things which is about the job market, wherein you can share your own perspectives on how things are, what are the challenges are that we can discuss. And regularly LinkedIn Live panel discussion we are doing. So if you want any details from the experts and HR managers, all that, you can subscribe so that you can watch live on YouTube and LinkedIn as well. So this is a link where you can subscribe and get those notification in your email or notification on LinkedIn to get those opportunities. Otherwise, we'll try to do a Q&A session regularly on Wednesday. This is something like we were just testing, but I was not very sure like how many people will show up. But it's good that you have all appeared here, which was a surprise. So maybe if those kind of people are coming on a regular basis, we can do a job hunt Q&A on a regular basis as well. So you can also subscribe to my newsletter, which we regularly publish the latest job market trends. So that way, all the um, job trend related stuff which we will be publishing in our newsletter. So you can subscribe that as well as part of the process. So you don't miss out any latest upcoming details about job market, because a lot of changes which is happening in the job market, which we will be regularly publishing. So that way you can get real quick updates from the newsletter and YouTube. All right, so I'll be closing this session by 10 o'clock. So if you have any questions, you can post so that you will get a clarity. Otherwise, you can scan this code and book a one-to-one call so that we do a one-to-one session on your challenges towards job hunt or career-related issues, resume-related, LinkedIn-related issues. You can just do a one-to-one so that we'll get a higher clarity comparing to what we are doing right now. Okay, Deepan Debis, I would like to find a job closer to home, but all the jobs are North or South Bangalore. How can I find companies which are hiring in West Bangalore region? Is there a LinkedIn group for such things? That's what. See, LinkedIn group means it will be very, very general. Like Bangalore startup group is what they will mention. They may not mention Bangalore South and all that. Okay, so obviously you'll have to find Facebook groups comparing to LinkedIn groups, because that will be more and more niche oriented, like North Bangalore, South Bangalore jobs they will mention. But of course that may not be at a result oriented thing. That is why I'm suggesting look for business networking meetings which is happening at your place nearer to your home. So then you have a chance to interact with the people where they will open up a lot of opportunities. So that's the only way where things can move faster comparing to the online element which we are doing. So that's something which you have to search on Google on what all networking meeting is happening. Maybe Eventbrite or Luma. These kind of websites are publishing a lot of events at your space. It may not appear like a business networking event, but they'll come up with a different topics. So if you check liu.ma, you will get the ideas of what are the upcoming events in the next 15 days or 1 month, where you can register, RSVP them, and then be a part of that particular conversation. So if you meet 10 startups, you'll get an idea like what kind of challenges they have or what kind of people they are hiring. All that you'll get to know. So that will be a great start if you are looking for something which is nearer to house, rather than trusting only on the online application, because online things which it will have its own limitation in terms of the specific geographies which you are looking for. So look for liu.ma. I'll just share this link. Okay, so you might have to sign this link, or you can check explore events, all that, depending on your location. Okay, I've just posted in the comment section. So click that and understand anything which is nearer to you, so that you can just meet up on a Saturday or Sunday and meet a lot of founders and startups, so that you have a conversation and take it to the next level of conversation on what you can contribute to their organization, contribute to their need, because they may not be formally telling you that this is the kind of recruitment I am doing. So they might be discussing only on the challenges they have. So that becomes your opportunity to um, get into those kind of areas, and you say, okay, I can contribute to this area. That becomes a project or internship or job opportunity, or working with them. All this is happening on a daily basis, which I also participate in a lot of startup meetings where the challenges are discussed, pain points are discussed, and one or the other guys comes with that expertise, grabbing that opportunity and working with them. So we'll have to work in that way, so that we meet and uh, grab those opportunities which is completely invisible to the existing job market. Hope that helps. So another 10 minutes, I'll be closing the room. If you have any questions, you can ask. Okay, type like you want every Wednesday, this job hunt Q&A every Wednesday. If you want, you can put yes in the comment box, so that I am rest assured that at least we can do a consistent effort on this. So that whatever we are doing, it will be very productive for both of us. So if you want this Q&A session every Wednesday, you can put yes in the comment box. Whoever is watching now, who is watching later, you can put yes in the comment box, so that we do a consistent effort on every Wednesday. We'll sit and do this session for the benefit of everybody. I hope there is no questions. So all good. If it is fine, we are okay to wrap up this session. Thanks for joining everybody and posting your questions. I love your attitude towards 9 o'clock at night and posting these questions. Thanks for joining us today, and hope to see you soon on the next Wednesday session. um, Keep posting questions. I'll be watching on my LinkedIn comments. If there is unanswered here, I'll be answering at a later point in time. But do subscribe to YouTube and LinkedIn newsletter, so that you get a continuous information about the job market, which is evolving every single day. Okay, if there is no questions, we'll wrap up this session. So, thanks everyone for joining us today. Yeah, thanks Rajesh, thank Deepan Debis, thanks Susan and Sri Lakshmi for joining this session. Thanks Sachin. Harish Khanna. Um, so look forward for more such sessions in the near future. Maybe every Wednesday we'll try to see you in this kind of sessions. You can bring your colleagues and friends who are looking for a job change, a job hunt. That way we will have more and more discussions. Thank you so much for joining and see you next Wednesday.